Love my way. It's a new day. I follow.
Steve, le poisson Steve, il est orange, il a des bras et des jambes, le poisson.
The only reason I look up people is because I want to masturbate to them. True.
What is schizophrenia? That's what I'm talking about today. I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and this channel is about mental health education and self-improvement. If you don't want to miss an episode, click subscribe and the notification bell. This video is based on a viewer question from Joe PR. Very informative video, as always, Dr. Marks. Could you do a video on schizophrenia and its treatment? I would find it educative to have a psychiatrist opinion on what is probably the most stigmatized mental illness in modern society. Thank you. Thank you, Joe PR, for that question. Schizophrenia is the most serious disorder that we have in psychiatry. It's much more than hallucinations. It's an illness where the person's main problem is being psychotic. With psychosis, you're not able to tell what's real and what's not real. I'll link a video in the corner that I did on psychosis. You can have psychotic symptoms like hallucinations for different reasons, like having a reaction to a steroid medication, just as an example. But with schizophrenia, there are several symptoms, and here's how we define the illness using the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition. You have to have 2 of the 5 psychotic symptoms. Delusions, which are fixed false beliefs, and the person cannot be convinced that they're wrong. And this is more than believing you're the best at soccer, because that's subjective. This would be something like your spouse was duplicated from a skin tag taken from the outer quadrant of your calf. Hallucinations. These can affect any of your five senses. The more common hallucinations, though, are auditory, which are hearing things that aren't there, and visual, which are seeing things that aren't there. One important thing to remember is these hallucinations happen when you're completely alert, awake, and clear. This does not include hallucinations that anyone can have when you're falling asleep or waking up. Disorganized thinking. We call this a formal thought disorder. This is usually something that other people notice by the way you talk. You may answer questions in a way that's only slightly related to what the person said, and it makes sense in your mind, but the person listening isn't quite sure what you mean. And you may hear people say things like, "You're talking in code," and that's because what you say sounds related, but not really. And if you talk for a while, the person listening may not even remember what they asked. Another way you can experience this is having your thoughts get derailed, such that you're switching from topic to topic. And the topics might be loosely connected and make sense to you, but the person listening, or to the person listening, it sounds like you're just trailing way off topic. And we call this tangential thinking, when the trail off doesn't get back to the original point. Now, there are many people who are naturally talkative and include excessive detail in their stories. We call this circumstantial speech or thoughts, when you get off topic, but you're able to come back to where you were eventually. Circumstantial speech is not a part of a thought disorder that's associated with schizophrenia. A fourth symptom of schizophrenia is disorganized behavior. And this is more than having a junkie room. This is major levels of internal disorganization that get in the way of daily functioning. I've seen people who are so impaired that they smear feces on the wall. Another way it can look is the person has outbursts of agitation. Sometimes it can be outbursts of laughing for seemingly no reason. And this is not because you're thinking about a funny video you've watched. You may be might not be thinking about anything, and may even feel like your head is completely empty, but you're laughing and disturbing people. The last manifestation of schizophrenia is negative symptoms, and this is not as easy to recognize or understand. The first four symptoms that I mentioned are called positive symptoms. The best way to think about the negative symptoms is you're not responding to your environment in the usual expected way. And it's usually not something that you notice about yourself. What other people will notice is they'll see dramatically decreased facial expressions, or complete lack of eye contact, or failure to initiate movement or speech. So you may sit in a room with very little stimulation around you, doing nothing. And it's hard for someone without a mental disorder to sit unstimulated for long periods of time. We need sensory input in any form. Someone talking to you, touching you, having something to read or listen to. But with the person with negative symptoms, they need much less of this. So you can sit and do nothing and have nothing going on. So those are the 5 symptoms, and you must have 2 of them going on at the same time for at least a month. And these symptoms cause serious problems in your social life, work, academic life, or family life. So I don't want you to think, I heard someone call my name last week. Does that mean I'm schizophrenic? No, not from that one symptom alone. In fact, schizophrenia is so disabling, you shouldn't need to think hard to find 2 of these things that you did sometime in the past and question if you have schizophrenia. A couple of features that go along with this is lack of insight and cognitive problems. When you're delusional, you don't know that you're delusional. It's real to you. You only realize it's a delusion after the symptoms have passed. And they don't pass in a couple of hours, at least not when it's from schizophrenia. When it comes to the hallucinations, some people can experience continual voices talking in the background that they're able to ignore, as long as their ability to ignore it depends on the volume of the voices and what they're saying. I've had some patients who were comforted by it's from schizophrenia. When it comes to the hallucinations, some people can experience continual voices talking in the background that they're able to ignore as long as their ability to ignore it depends on the volume of the voices and what they're
She's
saying.
making that up.
I've had some patients who were comforted by the presence of the voices as long as they weren't saying mean things, because with the voices, they didn't feel alone. And that's in contrast to someone who bangs their head because the voices are just so overwhelming for them. Another feature of schizophrenia that sets it apart from other illnesses where psychosis is present is cognitive deficits. These cognitive deficits are things like memory problems, life planning and organizational problems, and impaired thought processing. And this is one of the biggest differences in someone with bipolar disorder who becomes psychotic and the person with schizophrenia. So if you were to look at both people side by side while they are in a psychotic state, the person with bipolar disorder will have prominent mood symptoms like depression or mania, and the person with schizophrenia will not. The person with bipolar disorder will have delusions that usually match their mood state at the time. So if the person's depressed, their delusions may have excessively guilty themes to them, like they don't deserve to live, or they've disappointed the world in some way. Whereas the person with schizophrenia will have mood-neutral delusions that are usually, but not always, bizarre. A non-bizarre delusion would be that all doctors in the hospital are poisoning you by putting toxins in your pills. Also, the psychotic person with schizophrenia will have a history of poorer functioning, like serious academic problems or inability to keep a job or serious problems on the job. Whereas the person with bipolar disorder who's psychotic at the time will have a functioning level that was higher prior to their episode coming on. Yes, depression can cause thinking problems like memory problems, but with schizophrenia, you have thinking problems without any depression or mania being present. One last thing to mention when it comes to diagnostic terms, and that's schizoaffective disorder. Think of schizoaffective disorder as a combination of bipolar disorder or unipolar depression plus schizophrenia. So you have these mood episodes, but in between the mood episodes, you still have psychotic symptoms. On that note, schizophrenia is not episodic like depression and bipolar disorder. It's more constant. So you can have ups and downs in response to situational stressors, but it's not something where you have these periods of no symptoms at all. So there's a lot that goes into establishing this as a diagnosis, and there's lots of nuances here, as you can probably see. But this information is not so that you can diagnose yourself, it's just so that you can have more information to understand your illness once you have already been diagnosed. We don't know exactly what causes schizophrenia. It can be inherited and run in families, and there have been associations linked between birth complications and older paternal age. But we don't have a strong enough link to establish these things as causes. It tends to show up somewhere between late teens and early 30s, but the peak age of onset is early 20s for men and late 20s for women. We treat schizophrenia with antipsychotic medications. The goal is a complete resolution of symptoms, but that usually doesn't happen, especially when you consider the hit that it takes on your thinking abilities. The medications help keep the positive symptoms like the delusions and the hallucinations under control. Some of the newer antipsychotic medications can help with the negative symptoms, but in my experience, those usually remain at some level. Social skills training, though, can help with some of these things like the eye contact and improving your conversation. That's the short version on schizophrenia. Share this video and spread the knowledge. And talk to me in the comments. But keep in mind, I can't diagnose you in the comments. And you don't want someone online diagnosing you anyway. There's a lot of information that the doctor needs to know from you to make a diagnosis. So if you suspect that you have this problem, you should see a psychiatrist for an evaluation. See you next time. Hi, I'm Dr. Tracy. Short-term psychotic can be. It's common belief
Check your drawer area. What do you got shoved in there?
Nothing.
You've got nothing shoved in your pants right here. I can see a bulge right there. That's not normal. That's not normal. What do you have right there?
That's not cooking. I was fast cooking.
Okay. This is your chance to
Lean back. And you still might get a chance to go home, but if you're going to play this, I hear that.
Go see my own pants?
No, I don't.
Okay, then.
What the fuck? Was that fucking bleach? Yeah, it's bleach. Or is it? What is bleach then? Oh, sodium hypochlorite. You go to the bathroom. Holy shit. Okay, why does PDE5 cough? PDE5 antitussive. Oh, I mean to PDE4, but huh.
What is schizoaffective disorder? Is it worse than bipolar disorder? That's what I'm talking about today. I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. This video is based on several viewer questions. Saxon Survival says, I was just diagnosed with schizoaffective bipolar disorder type. Can you make a video explaining more about this? Is it worse or better than having just schizophrenia or bipolar?
Why does it fucking matter?
And then Bipolar Corner says, Dr. Tracy Marks, could you please do a video diving deeper into what schizoaffective disorder is like, the signs and symptoms, and discuss some of the ways of treating it, please? Thank you. Thank you, Saxon Survival and Bipolar Corner. I know that Bipolar Corner started his YouTube channel talking about his struggles with bipolar disorder, and then his diagnosis changed to schizoaffective disorder. These kinds of changes can happen when your illness progresses and your symptoms evolve more. Schizoaffective disorder is a combination of schizophrenia and a mood disorder, either bipolar disorder or depression. Where does the term affective come from? In psychology, there's a concept called the ABCs of psychology. It divides the mind into 3 domains. A is for affect, which is your emotions or feelings. B is for behavior, and C is for cognition, which is how you think. Mood disorders like depression and bipolar disorder primarily affect your emotional expression, so they're called affective disorders. Whereas schizophrenia, at its core, affects your thinking, so it's more of a cognitive disorder. With schizoaffective disorder, you get a combination of the alterations in your emotions and your thinking abilities. There's still a debate within the psychiatric community as to whether or not schizoaffective disorder should be a separate disorder from schizophrenia, because symptom-wise, schizoaffective disorder really looks more like schizophrenia than it does bipolar disorder or depression. That is, people with schizoaffective disorder are more on the schizophrenia spectrum than the mood spectrum. I did a video where I explain what schizophrenia is. You can see the link in the description and in the corner of this video. But the gist of it is that schizophrenia is a disorder where a person has psychotic symptoms as well as cognitive symptoms. The psychotic symptoms are hallucinations, delusions, or severe thought or behavioral disorganization. A person with schizophrenia isn't necessarily depressed. They may get agitated, but that agitation is not the same as mania. Elevated or irritable mood along with other things like increased energy, a decreased need for sleep. The person with pure schizophrenia isn't experiencing these things. So what happens with schizoaffective disorder is you have a depressive illness or bipolar illness superimposed on the schizophrenia. The diagnosis that you'll get is called schizoaffective bipolar type or depressive type. Here's how the illness looks different from bipolar disorder or depression. And for the sake of this example, let's just look at the bipolar type of schizoaffective disorder. With bipolar disorder, you have separate episodes of mania and depression. In between those episodes, you either have no symptoms or very few symptoms of whichever episode you last had. Now, you can become psychotically depressed, or you can have mania with psychotic symptoms. In this case, though, the psychosis is a measure of the intensity of the illness, and the psychosis resolves as the episode improves. So here's how it would look for just pure mania. That's part of bipolar disorder. Let's say you become manic and you start believing that you're a part of a sting operation spearheaded by the CIA. And the CIA has recruited you to do your own investigation. So as part of that manic episode, you start staying up all night researching on the internet, but when you start taking medication, you settle down and you no longer believe you're part of the sting operation, but you still have some manic symptoms, like you may not be sleeping, or you may have pressured speech and you just can't stop talking, but you're thinking rationally. As your manic episode continues to resolve, everything slows back down. Now let's take this same scenario with schizoaffective disorder. In this case, before your mania starts, you already are believing that the CIA is gathering intelligence on people. And because of that, you refuse to answer the phone because you feel like signals are coming through the phone. Notice with this delusion, it's a little more bizarre and unbelievable than with the manic delusion. Then you start losing sleep, and you start believing that you're being recruited to help with the surveillance. So you go through your mania, but after your mania resolves, you still believe that the CIA is doing something evil, or you no longer believe the CIA thing, but you've moved on to a different kind of conspiracy, and you continue to have this delusion for a little while until it tapers off and you stop thinking about it. But as it's tapering off, you're neither depressed nor manic. Now, this can get complicated because you can have schizophrenia and major depression as a second illness without it being schizoaffective disorder.
Yeah, how the fuck does that work?
The difference here is that with schizophrenia plus major depression, you spend more time with psychotic symptoms relative to the amount of time you spend in a depression. So you're mostly psychotic with these pops of depression. With schizoaffective disorder, depressed type, for most of the illness, you're both psychotic and depressed. And you'll have psychotic symptoms before or after your mood symptoms resolve. When it comes down to it, though, there's only minor differences in the kind of treatment that you're going to get. A person with bipolar disorder is going to be on mood stabilizers. If you have bipolar disorder, your medication regimen may change depending on the state of your illness. What it took to get you better may not be the same medication that keeps you better. Let me put it a different way. Sometimes the medicine that your doctor uses to treat an acute episode will be different from the medications used when you're in the maintenance phase. The maintenance phase is the period where you're either without any symptoms or have very few symptoms, and the goal is to prevent another episode or at least control the onset of another episode. The main medications that we use to treat bipolar disorder are mood stabilizers, and these are anticonvulsant mood stabilizers like valproic acid or lamotrigine, and then there's the antipsychotic medications, also called neuroleptics. They're also used for mood stabilization. A person with bipolar disorder will be on a mood stabilizer that may or may not include a neuroleptic, but the person with schizophrenia will be only on a neuroleptic. If you have bipolar 2 disorder, you may also be on an antidepressant at some point during your illness. I have another video talking about when you do and do not want to take antidepressants for bipolar disorder. A person with depression will be on an antidepressant, and if you become psychotically depressed, you may take a neuroleptic for a temporary period of time, or if you have treatment-resistant depression, you may have a neuroleptic added to your antidepressant. So there is some overlap between these illnesses and the medications that you can take. So you can't always look at someone's medication list and work backwards to know what their diagnosis is. Probably the best way to think about comparing the treatment between bipolar disorder and schizoaffective disorder bipolar type is with bipolar disorder, you may or may not take a neuroleptic, but with schizoaffective disorder, you will always need to be on a neuroleptic. So getting back to the question of whether or not...
So I'm trying to figure out, you know Viagra is an antitussive, a cough suppressant? I'm trying to figure out why I'm diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar instead of schizoaffective bipolar type. And the way it's been explained to me, which I don't think is royal assent, is that my mood goes independently of my, like, there's no pattern between my mood and my psychotic symptoms. my affect and my schizo. Oh, fuck yeah, bro. Don't you just want to, like, fuck a cow? They're not turning the frogs gay, Crest. They're turning the frogs into females. It's a common misconception about the gay frogs. They're turning the freaking frogs gay! Oh, hold up. Suppression of TRPV. Progodilation, which is not necessarily a cough suppressant. No, I think it's right. I'm just trying to understand what the fuck. Like I'm trying to get like a second opinion on it, using YouTube videos and armchair psychiatrists. Because I do, like, my mood is completely independent of my... I've gone through, like, psychotic symptoms. And my mood's been fine. I've gone through mood issues and my psychotic symptoms are fine. Kinda, actually. The mania kinda, because I get psychotic mania. Like, really psychotic mania. Like, I was acting up so fucking much in jail because I thought they were going to put me in a movie. And I thought all this footage was going to go into the movie. And, like, I thought that, like, Marley was, like, following me. It didn't make any sense. I don't know, bro. It's all fucked up. How was your day, Crest? Oh, did you smoke? Vape, rather? How was the bloodletting? This is a manuscript. Well, they didn't ask because they just want to get it done. Like, they probably have to see like 100 people that day. It's 3 vials there, that's not bad. I got my credit card today, so that's good. I'm actually gonna check the balance on that. Oh shit, I already capped it. Let me see what the hell's going on here. Oh, it doesn't... Oh, yes, it does. When is the... It's weaponized. I was thinking about that today. It is literally weaponized loans. It's like they were like, hey, let's get people with loans, but like let's make a card out of it. So you take out money as a loan and then you have to pay it back. But if you don't pay it back in time, you have to get charged interest. That just blows my mind. Okay, that seems good. Any porn? Any porn, anyone? Yeah. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. Have you ever taken Viagra or what's the other one? Vardenafil. Viagra, Cialis. Have you ever taken Viagra or Cialis? So you took Viagra. Do you think it was like a stimulant type effect? Or depressant? Or neither? And just kind of like, you can have them type thing. A stimulant. Like, do you think it stimulated you? Or it kind of made you feel kind of down? Interesting. Really? Really? In your balls, eh? So you got really heavy balls. It's interesting that you can get arousal with this one receptor. Phosphodiesterase.
Whether you're relaxing at home or out and about, make your music move with you. With Premium, you can download your music at higher quality. Listen to songs
Well,
free,
it's a
and play them in any
bronchodilator,
order.
so I would
Tap
assume
the
it's
banner to
generally
learn more.
working as a vasodilator. Aquila. Eagle. Alacrity. No, bro. Uneducated guesses are sometimes smarter than the real guesses. Or, educated guesses, not real guesses. That sounds kind of... I like how that sounded. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, when you have training and education, you're very regimented in how you think, because that's how you were taught, and you think the way you were taught. But, like, if you come at it with a completely different lens on, you could get... Well, I don't know where PDE5 is expressed, but... See, if I was a psychiatrist or like a doctor, I would prescribe literally... I would be like, yeah, come fucking take it for like 2 weeks. If it doesn't work, come back to me and I'll prescribe you another type of drug. Like another drug class. Because the drug classes are the real money makers. Yeah, but like when it comes to cough, you can cure cough with like diazepam. Didn't Buzzy end up not getting meds for his ADHD? And yeah, that's just literally the most sense. This is pill doctoring. Because, like, you just throw a med at it. If it works, it works. Why? Oh. That's unfortunate. So I should check that. Shower. I feel like that's also kind of a rumor. But I could see that being a true thing based on how it works. I don't know why it's not coming up, but I'm not to do it. I've heard that too. Cough, I would expect that. If it cures cough, it probably can give cough in some cases. No, that's not a general thing. Sag. What was he doing in the shower? He was probably like jorking it. Joiking it, you know, like Q-Drax said. That we both thought. No, bro, he was joiking it. Oh yeah, he's washing his cock real fucking vigorously, eh? This is Pepsi, this is Pepsi, the Pepsi illness. Oh, it causes somnolence, look at that. Syncope too. Dizziness. Elade bra, bra, bra. Codeine doesn't really cause dizziness. Voilà, le poisson Steve. Why isn't your last name Monkey? You know, like a hairy monkey? Well, a hairy monkey, please stand up. La Poisson Steve? Oh shit. You know, that's not the original. La Poisson Steve? Look, I'll show you the original.
Steve le.
This is the original.
Steve le. Le poisson Steve. Il est orange. Il a des bras
Il a des
et
bras
des jambes.
et des
Le
jambes.
poisson Steve.
Oh really? Why did you link me the other one then?
Steve le. Le poisson Steve. Il
It's
est
literally right here, bro. Big Bigs.
Il a des bras
Québécois.
et des jambes. Le poisson Steve.
La Poisson Steve. Oh yeah, you're like a schizophrenic person who doesn't want to accept that delusions is delusions. That's literally what keeps them from recovering.
Le poisson Steve. Il est vraiment très beau. Il peut nager sur la terre. Il peut marcher dans l'eau.
Fuck
Le
him.
poisson ivre, il sent
Poisson
forcément mauvais. Mais on l'aime bien.
Now we got hoe cakes. MF Doom is dead, motherfucker. He's got hoe cakes for days. The slow bakes. Dizziness.
I got this girl and she wants me to duke her. I told her I'll come scoop her around 8, she said. That sounds great, shorty girl's a trooper. No matter what I needed to do, she'd be like, on his own throne, the boss like King Cooper. On the microphone, he flossed the ring. Average MCs is like a TV blooper. MF Doom, he's like DB Cooper. Out with the moolah, I let her get her outfit just to cool her off.
Jeez, fuck. Oh my lord. Holy shit, that's a truck. Oh my god. You're out of your gourd, mate.
Stay on a scandalous whole shit list. One pack of
Dizziness.
Mr. Hooper. It's fun smacking rookies, he is the look like a black Wookie when he let his beard grow. Weirdo, brown skin, it always kept his hair low. Rumors has it it's a S-curl accident. Doom was always known to keep the best girls' backs bent. Some say it's the eyes, some say the accent. A lot of guys wonder where their stacks went. I call her thunder thighs with the fatty swoller. Only mess with high rollers, do what daddy told her. No matter the city, she with me to do the thang thang. Working the coochie, hoopty, chitty chitty, bang bang. Same name on the titty as on the name ring. Pretty like baby B, all in the same gang. Keep my eye on her, really don't trust her, but I treat her like a daughter. Taught her how to bust a nut and the heat to turn beef to horse meat chalupa. Teach her how to hold it, of course he is the. See, most cats treat her like fupa or beat her to a stupor. Take it from the. You need to make her feel cuter and lay down the G like loofah. Everything will be do for her. Keep her in a new fur so she looks sweet when she go to meet the. Got the Buddha, get the grenadiers, twist it, put it in the air, come here, kiss it. Listen here, Scooter, let her try to bag you when she's on the rag, never let her fry the ragu. Which will have you under some type of spell crying dag, boo, her name on your back in a tattoo. Whether a bougie broad, nerd, hoe, street chick, don't call her wife if you met her at the freak nick. You don't want her, don't waste her time, I'll dupe her. And be a father to your child like the. He keep his hoes.
Does MF Doom actually have any kids?
Get glows from all frozen necks. Tell him take his clothes, leave him posing naked for real. Better yet, get him for the check off the record deal. Find out where he keep the tech and the blue steel. Make sure for extra rec, let him know how you feel. And while he's running down to All-Star Weekend to ball.
Oh yeah, here's a one. Holy shit. Oh, his son died.
Has the laser cannon been loaded? Everything has been prepared as you ordered. But how did you get permission to return to New York, Master?
Holy fuck, Eminem died.
Misguided fool. It's free enterprise. And I'm not gonna let some blasted government bureaucrat tell me how to run my business. But Doom will be my guest on my private estate on Long Island. There's nothing you can do about it. He's dangerous. You just hope you know what you're doing. Don't I always? Ah, there's Doom's jet. Right on time. Why is it so cold down here? The heat went out in the whole building.
Warm enough out there on Long Island with Doom.
Doom? Here in New York? How long is all this gonna take, Doom? I would not advise you to repeat that error.
Krause, still here, bro? What the fuck happened here? Damn. Dizziness. How did I not realize that? What is the mechanism of dizziness? Just fluid in your ears, I assume. This is 100%. Holy dicks. Le Poisson, Steve? Ah. Dizziness, drowsiness, vomiting. Drowsiness, dizziness, and respiratory depression, which is not surprising. Oxolamine. This is crazy. Dizziness and headache. Fucking perfect. La Poisson, Steve? Now, just because I found Dickpin gay tits, dizziness is a common thing between bronchodilators and antitussives. Does not mean there's a correlation. Could be, though. Could be indeed. Sedation. Where is she walking? Looks like an airport.
Like, hold up 10 fingers.
What's going on with his fingers? Why are they wonky?
Can you prove that you're real?
Punch. Okay. Yo, go me. You ready?
I need to pee?
Yeah.
Like a fucking seizure.
Why are you laughing? Oh my god. Oh, dude!
Oh my god!
Excuse me, there's a spider in your hair. Oh, go like this, go like this. I'm only kidding.
Why are you laughing? Oh my god. Oh, dude!
Oh my god!
I'm sorry, gonna head out for a big brog. I'll tune in later though. Don't fall in, brog. Alright, brog. See you, Pricey Rod, yeah.
And now
I will see you later, news. I suppose that is true. Goodbye.
Look up in the sky, it's a dog, it's a train. No, it's the down south block, flying south for the winter. Once we enter your township, girlie, move your hip, bop your throat, move your toes with the eeny, miny, moles. I think you're it, don't have a fit, cause soon comes the skit. What the record label wanted us to make another hit to add to the artillery. Break a few bars, then I pause. Catch my breath, cause it be on till the crack of dawn. Pass the baton to Soda, the brother who's relaxing on the patio. Just pull up a chair, take a squat near your stereo. The three-man band originates to rock a fan. Clap hands and hit the voice, who's so damn illuminate. I rock a jam and let the public consume it. Let's chill. Before I
The voice. No choice, free will.
Hey baby, here's a cushion for your fanny. The rocking chair in the corner belongs to my granny when she sits and watches A&E. Yo, you snuggle by the fire. Yeah, we'll send another chestnut on the Barbie. It's the goal, I can't room on my Harley, so I chill and max. Bundle up the chocolate cherry tree down with the axe. Grease my throat with the jacks. Matter of fact, I got skills. The richest stuff, sneaky coffee like the night where I prescribe you just to sit here and chill. I backed out, but yo, I'm still on the cool. I with the cash in hands to rock a fan. Cause the song swings the same, yes, damn it, hit the Gucci come soon. The full moves from my whole platoon and tons of tunes that you never heard before. Beast the sleepy red, yo, the twinkle's all yours. Self-produced and produced by the period man. But yo, it's time to chill and let the horns spill. I'm just sitting here chillin', just sitting here, just sitting here chillin', just sitting here. I'm just sitting here chillin', just sitting here, just sitting here, just chillin'. Yo, man, slide over, man. All of us can't fit on this couch. Yo, brother such as yourself, Sean, do you think you could just move over a little bit? I know with your large posterior. I'm just sitting here chillin', just sitting here, just sitting here chillin', just sitting here, just sitting here chillin', just sitting here, just sitting here, just chillin'. I'm just sitting here chillin', just sitting here. I'm just sitting here chillin', just sitting here. I'm just sitting
Shoot and pick.
With the voices that's moist. Painwood, Elvis Sensei, Boulevard Connect. Yeah, DJ Chaos. Yeah, DJ Tycoon. Yeah, niggas make room. Yeah, hold the man 17, check it out. I write the fact, not fiction. AOF diction. Sickening. Lyrics dipped in sauce, tossed to chips in. All bets off, when off, crews test the sin. Your plans can't win, styles raw like lambskin and in. Wars, battles, tours, whatever. Travels unravel, my format is the clever. It's you ever heard, only serve those who got the nerve to call themselves a b-boy. Yo, check the swerve, be on alert, red. Always hurt the next head if the style's dead. Send them back to class for flow ed. Like double set, tape decks, I record and play a nigga quick. Pick another like a cornerback stick. Unleash streaks for the masses, attend my classes. For the slow kids, I recommend the daily dosage of the T plus T. AOF ingredients, precise ice like a typhoon. Slice and dice, chaos tame, who run this rap game? True to life, true school, ill styles for wild fools. With these tools, we bless, address what's on my chest. Worldwide, AOF and the Boulevard Connect. Yeah. Yeah. I'm too bugged out to thug out. I slug out stress by smoking cess, yes. The naughty-headed terror in the flesh, who I test. I make it basic, explaining like I'm training. Entertaining, painting on your playthings, cause niggas say things. Everyday things I bring to light, cause I'm the type that this the hype. Not believing shit stinks is what I live like, cause my insight and drug use is boosted on some new shit. If what you kick is useless, I'll remove it. I prove it on the regular, by any means necessary. Bow to me like Mecca, notify your predecessor and your next of kin. When I come down on your ass like a mescaline, fuck the rest of them. I'll be on the low like the Mexicans. My medicine's cannabis, making me lost like Angeles. Vandalists call me scandalous. The boom squad be handing this. Presidente, Corona, Deluxes. Give less than the fuck, bustin' lyrics like they nuts, bitch. In Copenhagen, copacetic hash blocks and Haagen-Dazs. Dutch marks and artifacts, postcards. Talking to God, I feel odd, but it's essential. I utilize my mental after all the shit that I done been through. DJ Typhoon at high noon, we coming out blasted. So bring the hashes and the TAV crew. As we do the do, like
It's not the roots of the tree, but the roots of the tree. Metrically. What is causing the dizziness?
Let's hear them play.
MCs
out there, you better stand clear. EPMD is a world premiere. From New York, straight talk, America's best. Cold Wild Long Island is where we rest.
The style of the rap makes your hands clap. Take care of yourself because the lines are strapped. They mean business, no time for play. If you buy a line, they blow you away. The more you bite, your body gets hot. Don't get too close because you might get shot. Knowing that my mom like a poisonous rat. Don't play dumb, boy, you're smarter than that.
It's my thing. The rhythmatic style keeps the rhyme flowing. The brain's already biting without you knowing. Can't understand why your body's getting weaker. Then you realize it's the voice from the speaker. The mind become delirious. Situation serious. Don't get ill. Go and get curious.
Enough about that. Let's get on to something better. And if it gets warm, take off the hot sweater. And if you want some water, I get you a cup. And if you don't